Hey guys, this is Reggie from Gunpla, New York, and today we're bringing you my review of the HG Gundam Astraea Type F from the Gundam 00F manga series. So what's this is a side story from the Gundam 00 universe, and this takes place before the anime. There was a version 1 or a generation 1 and generation 2 of the Gundam Meisters. What we see in the anime is generation 2, or what we see in the anime is generation 3. So this is the stories of the prior generation that built up into the anime, and the prior generations had it much worse than Gen 3 had. Yeah, there was that one scene where Lock-On threatened to shoot Setsuna for his reveal of face during his confrontation with Eliel Sanchez, but like these kids and these guys had bombs attached to them, and if they did not follow orders from Veda correctly, they could die. So you always want the future generation to have it better than others, but this suit is pretty much a prototype of the Exia that we would get in the anime. And when I saw the box art for this, I thought, okay, so it's a red Exia with a combination of Dynamis and Virtue's weapon packs. I was pretty sold on it from the beginning. So enough lore dumping. Why don't we open up the box and see what we have here? All built up, and we have the Gundam Astraea Type F. And I gotta say, for a late 2000s Gunpla kit, the build was pretty fun. I could definitely see why Exia for the longest time had such a high praise in the HG market because of the fact that it was pretty innovative for its time. There's some inner frame working, and there's a decent amount of color separation. Unfortunately, the GN power cables that are most famous with the Gen 3 suits, those are stickers, those aren't even rubber strips you would have gotten in the RG. You gotta apply them or you could paint them. And there's some missing color detail that you can add into it. Also, the clear colors on the sides of the arms and elbows are unfortunately not green. They are clear. You got to paint that out with marker or paint. However, only the chest is mandatory if you just want to make the Type F. If you want to make the normal version, you are given leftover parts. Speaking of leftover parts, you do get a decent amount from the original Exia from 2007. The new parts for the Type F are marked as 2010. And wow, just to think we were getting parts, beam sabers, without individual effect parts as late as 2007. And I think that's a long time, but then I have to remember the fact that 2007 was almost 20 years ago. I was 13, and I just turned 31 as of this recording. Dating us and myself, let's move on. The kit was a fun build. There's definitely some limitations here with the suit, but overall it's a great piece of setup. And I had a fun time putting it together once everything came into place. Now let's go take a look at this articulation. Articulation is creative but limited. You're going to get a wide range for the neck. Unfortunately, the armor does not allow you to use that posability. The shoulders have multiple joints, however, some of the design ideas cause the shoulders. Some of the design aspects cause the shoulders to not be able to be used for their full extent. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, you're going to get the wrist rotation. You're only going to get the fist hands. The chest is surprisingly limited because I always thought the Exia as having a wide range of dynamic movement with the chest. However, in its original HG form and as adopted by the Astraea, that is not to be. So you're just going to get a basic waist swivel that you can't even use 360. The legs, this is right before variable hips. Gonna get T-pose, but no. So now we get to the weapons, and the weapons are just an assortment of goodies. First off, we're going to start with the standard GN sabers. So you're going to get the same hilt as the Exia, and you're going to get the same clear parts as you did now compared to maybe what you would have gotten back in 2007. So you get them together, and they could do dual wielding pretty well. The Astraea is really good. It's based on the Exia, so I expect it to perform these tasks pretty well. Next, you're going to get a GM bazooka, and it connects in a funny way. So you know those antennas on the chest of the Axia, or now the Astraea. You're gonna place this rocket launcher on top of it. You're gonna replace one of the antennas and attach it and hold it on. Simple as that, but it has a really cool look, and it reminds me so much of Gundam Virtue in that aspect. And you're gonna connect it, and you're just gonna launch it out. Next, you're gonna just get a grenade launcher that you can hold on the shoulder. You're gonna use the hand as well, and it has an extension to it, which adds to more bombardment of the assortment of weaponry you can add to it. And then finally, you're just gonna get a whole bunch of grenade launchers or rocket launchers you can add to the side if you want to, on the side of the leg. Those new gray pieces that replace the clear pieces connect to that. So as well, you can honestly do some punching and rocket launcher poses very well. And last but not least, you're gonna get a whole bunch of handguns, which you could kind of hold Dante style, Devil May Cry. They're just two pieces slapped together, but the aesthetic fits so well in comparison to other kits. In terms of fun, the fun here is really just putting it all together. And honestly, if you get some more 00 kits, you can really get some creativity going. In comparison to the Unicorn I just reviewed, Unicorn was probably revolutionary for build. Gundam 00 kits were revolutionary for mobility and posability. So while the Unicorn was more monumental in terms of what Gunpla could do back in 2007, for a 2010 kit based on a 2007 kit, I'd say it's showing its age a little bit, but it's holding up pretty well together. And I had a lot more fun with this than I did with the Unicorn Gundam HD model. Now that we're finally wrapping up, here's my final thoughts and everything. This kit was a lot of fun. When I got it, I was a little surprised. I knew Exia is one of my more favorite kits, or favorite Gundams, but this one was a little different. The only thing really holding it back is the variable hips. There's no variable hips. It's still the T-bones, but they try to add some variation into it. The technology was almost there, but not quite. Other than that, it's a really fun kit. You're going to get an assortment of accessories that combine accessories from Dynames, Exia, and Virtue. It's a red Gundam. It's not that common to where you get a red Gundam. So if you wanted to kind of say, what if Char went into the Anno Domino timeline, you could kind of go with that on top of the lore already built up from the mangas. This was a fun build. There are some painting applications you might want to consider while putting it together, but overall, its age shows in some places, but other parts, it doesn't really matter. It's still a good kit. I would love to take a look at the master grade variant of this, or even the real grade variant. Let's take more modern technology and build it on together, though the master grade is built on the Exia 1.0 from 2008, but it'd be nice if they could use that master grade GN frame from the other three Meisters and finally get us that Exia remaster. But that's another argument for a different day. This kit, just be aware of its limitations, but other than that, and you have the patience to pull it off and put everything together, I think you're gonna have a really fun build putting it up. And overall, if you are a fan of Gundam 00 and you really want to pose it up to your Exia variants, I think this is a great piece to have, and I really recommend it if you have the patience and the awareness of what you're getting from the late 2000s era of Gunpla. On that case, my name is Reggie from Gunpla, New York, and I will see you later.